Now that we have some knowledge about funnels and segments, we can make a more advanced funnel analysis, which is a bit more time consuming, but can also potentially give you a lot of new valuable insights. For this analysis, we will fill out these tables over here. So we have a funnel starting in the cart for mobile, desktop, and tablet. And for each step in the funnel, we want to see 4 numbers: the number of users, the percentage of users who click back to the previous step, the percentage of users who progresses to the next step, and the percentage of users who exits the website from this step. Now, for the sake of this course, I will start with the cart for this analysis. Of course, for your own website, you can start with the homepage or an important landing page. For this lesson, I will use the Google Analytics account of the Google Merchandise Store. This is an e-commerce website, so it will be a nice example for this funnel analysis. The Google Analytics account for the Merchandise Store is freely accessible, and the link to it is available in the lecture resources. So let's check it out. We are here in the custom report section for the Google Merchandise Google Analytics account. And we will start off by creating a very basic custom report. We only want to see the number of users in the metrics. And for the dimension, I will choose a device category. But you can choose whatever dimension is useful for you. Let's give it a name. And let's hit save. Next, we want to make a segment. So go to Add Segment and click New Segment. Now first we want to see the number of users who reached the cart. So that's page. And for the Google Merchandise Store, the page contains basket. Now let's give the name Google Merchandise Store basket. And let's hit save. Next, we want to make a new segment. And for this segment, we will set up a sequence, which you can find right here. So we want to see the number of users in the cart who progress to billing and shipping. So first, a user needs to see the cart. We'll state in step 1 that the page contains basket. And the next step is the page containing your info, which is the billing and shipping in the Google Merchandise Store. So now we have users who visit the cart and next visit the Your Info page. So let's give it a name. And hit save. And there we go. We can now fill out these numbers in our Google Sheet. So for each device, you have the number of users who reached the cart. And for each device, you have the number of users who went from the cart to the Your Info page. So let's go to Google Sheet and fill this out. So for desktop, we saw 3,764 users reach the cart, and 638 progressed to the next step. So percentage-wise, we can use this formula. So almost 17% progresses. Now we can do the same for mobile. 1,185 people reached the cart, and 202 progressed. And on tablet, 51 users reached the cart, with only 8 users progressing to the next step. So there we go. The clickback is not relevant because it is the first step in our funnel, and we'll have a look at the exit rate later on. Now let's go to the billing and shipping step. Now for billing and shipping, we will follow the exact same steps. First, we will make a new segment with the number of users who visited this tab. So page contains your info. And let's give it a name. And let's hit save. Now let's get rid of these two segments and apply. So now we have the number of users who reached the Your Info tab. Next, we want the sequence again. So new segment, sequence, and we start off in the Your Info tab. And next is the Payments tab. Give it a name. And hit save. And for this step, we will also make a third segment. And again, we do need a sequence. Because we now also want to see the number of users who click back to the previous step. So first, a user has to visit the billing and shipping page. So again, page contains your info. And next, we want to see the number of users who click back to the cart, which is the basket for the Google Merchandise Store. Now let's give it a name. And hit save. And there we have it. These are the numbers which we need to fill out in our Google Sheet. So, for desktop, we saw that 645 users reached this tab. We also saw that 163 users progress to the Payments tab. And 246 users click back to the cart. So these are the numbers for desktop for this step. So for mobile, we have 204, 88, and 43 people click back. And for tablet, we have really small numbers because you have 8, 6, and 2 people clicked back. And let's make this a percentage. Now I hope you get the idea on how to fill out these numbers. And the last thing we need to do now for these two steps is to see the exit rate for each step. So let's go back to Analytics, Behavior, Site Content, and I will use all pages, but you can also use exit pages. Now let's get rid of these segments, like this, and hit apply. And first, we want to find the basket, which we already see right here. And in order to see these numbers for mobile, desktop, and tablet, we could add 3 segments, but we can also use the secondary dimension. So we click here and look for device category. And these are the exit rates which we can fill out in our Google Sheet. So we have 22.63% right here. We have 24.88 here. And we have 18.29% for tablet. Now let's do the same for billing and shipping. So first we need all the pages again. Search for your info. We can click the page, add a secondary dimension, scroll down, and here we have the necessary numbers. So for desktop, we have 23.67. For mobile, we have 21.24. And for tablet, with 23.53%. So now we have the numbers for these two steps completely filled out. And what we can see is that there's a high drop-off going from the cart to the billing and shipping. And especially on desktop, a lot of users click back to the cart page. Now, if a lot of users click back, they might want to double check something, or they are looking for certain information, for instance about the delivery costs, or guarantees. If you have a lot of users clicking back to the previous step, it could indicate a problem for which the solution is worth A/B testing. Now, this solution might become clear when you are doing the rest of your optimization research, which will be covered in this section and the next one. If you find a page where a low percentage of users progresses and not a lot of users click back or exit, you can use the navigation summary in Google Analytics to see what users are doing from that step. So for instance, we have the Your Info page right here, and now we can click on Navigation Summary. Now when we scroll down, we see the number of pages where users came from, and this is on a session level. And we see the next page in the session. And in the middle is the Your Info page. So from this page, a lot of sessions progress to payment. We also see a lot of sessions go back to the basket. And surprisingly, also quite a lot of sessions, 7.5%, go back to the home page. So using the navigation summary, you can see information about the previous page path and the next page path from a certain page. So these are just 2 steps of the funnel. You can apply these steps to the most important funnels on your website and obtain some very valuable insights about the behavior of your users on your website. A link to this Google Sheet is available in the lecture resources.